This is going to be a tutorial for doing chapter 11 on digital foundations. That's a chapter that's linked to the front page of the blog. You can just click on the homework of the blog or the front page for March 8th, and that'll take you directly to chapter 11 of Digital Foundations, Intro to Media Design. Here's the image we're going to begin with. It's a picture of Salvador Dali and his cat. And what we're going to do is non-destructively make a copy of the mustache on Dali and then put that mustache on the cat too. Here's the work files. They're underneath the image. You can download that into your downloads folder, your desktop. I'm going to cancel because I've already done that. And so I'm going to go directly into Photoshop. In Photoshop, go File, Open. Navigate to your Chapter 11 files. They might be zipped up. You can double click on them to unzip. And I am going to select, actually, this image here. That's a JPEG. Let me see, it's a JPEG. There's another one here. That's a PSD. That's the finished file if you want to see what it looks like. There's the cat with the mustache. We're opening up the JPEG. And there it is. Before we start, I just want to point out how to check the pixel resolution of an image because we'll be doing that in class on March 8th. The pixel resolution has to do with how many pixels there are in the width and the height of the image. And if there's a high enough pixel resolution, then you can print without getting the little jaggities, the pixels showing themselves, as you can see in my little magnifying glass right here, my cursor. So to check the pixel resolution, you go Image, Image Size, and then a dialog box opens up that tells you how many pixels you have in the wide dimension and how many pixels you have in the height dimension. It also shows what your final resolution is. For printing, we would change our resolution to 200, or better yet, 220, and we would leave all of these boxes clicked in order to retain the resolution that we want. So let's work this way. I'm going to print resolution. Okay, so for this image, we're going to start with it blown up. You can blow it up any way you want. I used the changing the print resolution. You can also use the magnifying glass to blow it up. We're going to first make a selection of the mustache. And this way, first we're going to start by making a very rough selection. So these are all the selection tools here at the left. There's a circle, there's something called a lasso. Underneath the lasso is a tool called a magnetic lasso. I'm not getting up. Oh, there you can see the magnetic lasso, and they act in different ways. For this one, we're just going to use the lasso, and you're just going to draw around that mustache, kind of roughly, going back to the beginning. And now you have a selection, very much like the selection you have with Amelia Earhart. Now that's not a very, very good job I did because there's all kinds of space around that selection where I would be getting his skin and not just the mustache. So the next thing I'm going to do is refine the selection. And to refine the selection, we're going to use what's called the quick mask mode. You can either select it here on this little button. It says quick mask mode when I hover over it. Or you can use the Q key, just Q. And what happens when you do a quick mask mode is it puts a cover over all of the area that you do not want to touch the pixels. We're still just trying to get that mustache. We're trying to just select that mustache. So we need to get a little bit tighter around that mustache. So we're going to use the brush. This is similar to what we did last week in class. And I'm going to make sure that the black is on top. And I'm going to give myself a fatter, softer brush by changing the diameter of the brush here. And now, with that brush, I'm just brushing around his mustache. I have my opacity at 100%. I have my flow at 100%. And I'm just brushing around. I'm going to make it bigger by using the bracket keys as we did last week in class. And I'm brushing around, getting as close as I can to that mustache without actually getting on top of it. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. It takes a little patience. Okay, pretty happy. So if I make a mistake now, over here I got a little red on the mustache, all I have to do is switch my paint chips and select the white and then go down the middle where I don't want the red to be, where I don't want the mask to be, back onto the same surface. Now I think I'm pretty happy with my selection. So the next thing I'm going to do is hit this button or the Q key again. And now I have a much more accurate selection of the mustache. I think I'm going to fix it a tiny bit more. Put my black chip on top.